What's up, everyone? According to the videos I've done in these past couple days, I wanted to give 10 tips for surviving in the hood, in the ghetto, in the inner city as a white person, because it's not easy, and it's taken me a long time to develop these ideas. And I wanted to share it in case there's anybody else who's like me, who's a white minority living in a ghetto somewhere, because this is real important for your own safety and survival. So we're going to go over security, some common sense, and how to blend in. So tip number 1, if you can get out, get out. You don't have to stay there. Even if it costs you a little bit more money every month, find a place to live that isn't in the fucking ghetto. You're going to have a much better time. Because if you can get out, get out. There's no reason to stay. Even if you're saving money, you're putting your safety at risk. It's just not worth it. Number 2, invest in some security. If you live in a house, an alarm system is great. And it doesn't even have to be hooked up to the police or ADT or whatever. Just get an alarm system that makes a loud ass fucking noise that's real apparent if someone breaks in. Get some window sensors, shit like that. Just the sound alone is usually enough to keep any burglars from entering the home if they break through a door or a window. So get that alarm, get it set up. Number 3, and this is also security, bars on windows are great. I used to, when I really lived in the hood, we lived in a house that was built, back in the 70s and 80s, and it had literal steel bars on every single window in the house, except for like 2 or 3 big living room windows. And they unlock and they open from the inside. But basically, there's no easy way for anyone to break a window and just walk in. And there were also these big metal gates that closed on top of all the doors, so it was pretty damn secure, and it really gave us a sense of security knowing that, no one's going to be able to break through those and get into the house. But not everyone has this option, so if you live like in an apartment or something, try and get an apartment on the 2nd or 3rd floor. I know it's going to suck, especially if you're out of shape, but it's definitely worth a little bit more security, a little bit more peace of mind if you can help it. Number 4, and this is really important, train with firearms. Learn everything you can about your local firearms laws. Get a firearm if you can. Get some training. If you can get a concealed carry license, get it. Not just for the fact that you should carry every day, but for the fact that you're going to receive some hands-on training with firearm experts. And this is really going to help you defend yourself if the time comes. And if you're living in a scary ghetto place where there's lots of crime, the time is probably going to come sooner or later. So it's better to be prepared than to never have to use it, essentially. Now, staying armed isn't just about yourself. If you have a family, if you have roommates, teach them everything you know. Get them to come to classes with you. Teach them how to handle firearms. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, get her own pistol that she's comfortable with. Even a 22 or a 380 or something small that she can put in her purse or something like that. Get her something to defend her with. Because I've seen consistently there are videos where, the wife or girlfriend is home alone with the kids, dad's out getting paid at work, and some burglars break in, and what does the wife do? Well, if she has a gun, she can run to a safe room in the house, get her gun, and defend herself from the burglars, because you don't want you to not be there and have your family harmed, killed, or something like that. Even the defense of your loved ones is key, and firearms are the great equalizer between men and women. I've seen the smallest, 5'0" women, 100 pounds, with their 9mm pistols take out multiple intruders when they busted into the house. So it's definitely worth investing in firearms and training with them as much as possible. But just as if you have kids or something, keep them locked away. Be smart about it. We can talk about firearms in another video, but in general, you need to be trained with firearms. You need to have experience with them, and you need to keep them close by, especially in your home. Now, number 5, this is also security. Stay indoors at night. Don't get caught up in some shit. And I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but basically, past a certain point, 9:30, 10 o'clock, just stay indoors. It ain't worth going outside and getting caught up in some shit, because people start fooling at that time of night, and they want to start some shit. They're looking for someone to fuck up, looking for someone to rob. They just want to accost you. Just stay inside. Lock your doors. Keep that peace of mind. Just stay inside. Number 6, this is security as well. Learn how gangs operate. If you live in the hood, chances are there's going to be a gang somewhere, somehow. Look up online, find your city, look at all the gang activity. You can even go down to your local police station and talk to the cops about, hey, what's the local gang activity? Who's operating where? What streets should I look out for? Just so you don't get caught up on those streets and in someone else's territory, so you don't get fucked up or get caught up in some shit. Now, when you're learning about how gangs operate, learn about flags and colors, learn about tags, learn how to read graffiti, learn about hand signs, look up what stacking is, find out if you can verify any gang hangouts like clubs or bars or warehouses or anything like that, and learn to identify what a trap house is. Because chances are there's going to be some trap houses in your area and you want to avoid them at all costs. Generally, you're looking for a slightly rundown house with blackout curtain windows. They typically have a whole bunch of cars on the driveway, and if you watch them at night, you may see people come up to the door, knock, slip some money through the door, and then get something in their hands and then walk away. If the place is bumping, if it's busy, and there's lots of cars everywhere, stay away, because eventually the cops are going to catch up, they're going to raid that place. Either there's going to be a fight or something. You don't want to get caught up in that shit. It's for your own safety. Stay away from that. Stay away from gangs in general. Now, just as some general advice from where I live, typically, the worst gangs you're going to find are going to be something like MS-13 or some sect of Bloods on the east side or something like that. So learn how these gangs operate. If you can find any information about them online, see what kind of attitudes they have towards certain races, because there are racially motivated gangs. Or like, this is a black supremacist gang, and we target people who are not black supremacists who try and live on this block. Stay away from those as much as possible. Learn how they operate. Stay safe. Stay away. Now, number 7, this is just common sense. If you live in the hood, don't buy nice things. Even if you have the money, you're better off taking your money to a bank, investing it somewhere, keep your money safe. Don't buy nice stuff. Don't buy a brand new $40,000 car. Don't buy brand new clothes. Don't, have like real nice TVs and furniture and things like that in your house, because it makes you a target. What these jackers are looking for are easy targets. And if you're white and it appears that you have money, you are an easy first target for a jacker, especially someone who doesn't like white people. They're going to jump your ass and they're going to take your shit, and then you're really going to be fucked because that money is now lost. I mean, sure, you can try and recover it, but that only... It rarely ever works in the ghetto, because the police, they have no reason to do their jobs, essentially. They're not going to risk their lives going into the hood trying to catch somebody most of the time. So it's not worth having all this stuff only for it to get jacked at some point, because you don't want to make yourself a target. And this comes into the next point, which is blending in. So number 8, make friends in the community. Be nice. Be a sociable person, meet your neighbors, become friends with them if they're worth being friends with. Try and have some ins in the community, because you want to blend in as much as possible. You don't want to make yourself an easy target for someone to think that you're some outsider or something like that. So blend in. Get in with the crowd, blend in, go to parties, go to block events, do something. Now, you got to stay safe when you're doing this kind of stuff. Don't stay out too late. If some shit pops off, leave. If people start getting rowdy and drunk and there's drugs going around, just leave. But for the most part, be nice, be sociable, try and meet your neighbors, try and get in with the community and understand it. Don't go around wearing Dixie flags and camo pants and driving big old trucks, acting like a redneck, waving guns around. It makes you an outsider and it will paint you as an easy target. Don't be like that. Now, there's some places where that might be acceptable. For the most part, you want to stay low. Stay low key. Just get off the radar. Don't stand out. Number 9, learn about the local culture if you're not from this area. Let's say you're moving into a new city, you're broke, you have to move into the ghetto. Learn about the local culture. Learn about language and slang. If there's common slang terminology, you want to try and learn it. Go on YouTube, look up videos from your hood. Look up street names on YouTube, and there's going to be some people posted outside doing videos in their cars and local hangouts, shit like that. They love to put that stuff on social media. Learn about the local culture. Learn how to give a fucking decent handshake, you know? Learn about all the different types of handshakes. Don't look like a fucking outsider. Don't look like a fucking, you know, some cracker-ass loser. And just try and blend in. And then at the same time, learn about how to dress and how to act. Learn about habits and what type of fashion is trendy in the area. Because you don't, like I said, you don't want to stand out. You want to blend in. Stay low-key. If you act like everyone around you, you blend into the crowd. It takes away from the fact that you're racially different, which is, of course, the first thing that people in the ghetto notice. And number 10, to blend in, don't be a snitch. Don't go around talking shit. Don't go around spreading rumors. If you see someone doing something illegal, don't ask, don't tell. Keep your head down, keep your eyes forward. It ain't worth it. Unless some shit happens to you, you know, if someone comes after you with a gun or someone breaks into your house, fine, call the cops. Someone is violating your rights. But for the most part, if you see something, don't say something. Keep it to yourself, because you don't want some shit coming to you. Because if someone snitches in the neighborhood, chances are, if you're an outsider, even if you're black, if you're an outsider, they don't know you, they're going to come after you first, asking questions like, hey man, you snitching? But especially if you're white, they're going to come after you and say, hey white boy, you snitching on us down the street? And then you're going to be caught up in some shit. Don't get caught up in some shit. Stay out of it. Just don't be a part of it. Stay far away as possible from drug and gang activity. I'm telling you now. Because that shit ain't worth it. It ain't worth it in the least. So do all these things and get out as soon as possible, because you will be targeted for racial abuse as a white person. You will be considered an outsider unless you're black or Hispanic or whatever. Some places are better than others. This is just in general advice. Take it as you will. And if you want to learn more about my experiences, check out my other Living in the Ghetto videos. I've got other politics videos on here. And I appreciate everyone listening to this. If you want to hit me up on social media, leave me a like here, subscribe, you know, do whatever the fuck. Thanks for listening.